Good Erev Shabbos, everyone. A good Erev Yom Tiv. We're coming now to the end. This is the last virtual drasha of the year Tavshin Pei. Hopefully, it's the last virtual drasha. We come back in person next time, but it's at least we know the last virtual drasha of the year Tavshin Pei. And I always start off the drasha kimat all the time with a question that should be asked at the Shabbos at the Yom Tiv table, and this time is no exception. So the question I want to pose to you is: why do we use on Rosh Hashana the shofar of an ayah? Why do we use dafka, the horn of the ram? Let me elaborate on the question. We're using a ram's horn, specifically a ram. The place can say, so as to remind us of that Kedas Yitzchak. We know that at the end, when Hashem told Avraham, do not shech your son, Hashem orchestrated it that there should be a ram whose horns got caught in the svach, in the bush, and therefore Avraham was able to take that ram and use that for the Kedas Yitzchak. The question I want to ask you is Rabbi Shimon Schwab's question: why dafka the horn? Why do we choose of all the parts of the animal? This is the animal that went instead of Yitzchak on the Mizbeach. There are many parts of the animal. Maybe there should be a minute that we should eat lamb chops on Rosh Hashanah. Maybe have a lamb's head. There is such a minute. But for the Ashkenazim, to have a ram's head on the table. Maybe we should use its skin. Why is it the horn? What is it about the horn of the ram specifically that we're using that part of the body to remind us of the Akedah Yitzchak? What's with the horn? Schwab points out another question to ask your children at the Yom Tov table, the Shabbos table. How old do you think this ram was? How much experience in life did this ram have? That obviously it's a bit of a shlemiel if it got caught in the svach bakarna, if it got caught in the bush, right? It's a bit of a shlemiel. It must have been a very young lamb, we would think, right? Ask your children how old they think the ram was. The Mishnah in Pirkei Avos says in the 5th parak, this ram was among those things that were created during the Sheshis Me'Brachos, back in the times of creation, Erev Shabbos, Bein HaShmashos. Right at the end, mamish, the tail end of the creation, this ayil, this ram was born, was created. And we know Abraham was born in the year 1948, and by the time they came to Yitzchak many years later, it's over 2,000 years old. This ram for 2,000 years is walking around its area, the planet. It's walking around. Never once did it get stuck in a bush that it couldn't pull itself out from. The lesson of the horn of the ram is as follows, says Rabbi Schreck. The lesson is that we can have a person walking around 2,000 years. We'll have this ram walking around 2,000 years, never getting stuck in the bush. And all of a sudden, one day gets stuck in the bush, the ram's thinking to himself, I don't understand, my whole life I'm going. My horns never get stuck. I'm having such a bad day. Why do my horns get stuck today? Little did the ram know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was orchestrating everything. And of course, it doesn't make sense that this ram with so much experience should get his horn stuck in the svach. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted this ayil at this moment, in this place. And the horn was the part of the animal that made it get stuck. The horn is the part of the animal that HaKadosh Baruch Hu used to get this ayil where he wanted it, when he wanted it. And the message for us is very powerful, specifically this year. Things happen around us. This past year has been such an upheaval, such uncertainty, lack of security. And we wonder, why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu do it? Why did it happen? One thing that the ram's horn, says Rav Schwab, teaches us is that whatever happens, it's the right place and it's the right time for us to actualize our potential. So I had this thought actually last night as I was writing the introduction to the newsletter, Be'ezer Hashem, the Shtibel Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur newsletter that we're putting out on Friday, Be'ezer Hashem. And I had the following thought. I thought to myself that on the one hand, the year was a failure. We mentioned this pre-Slichas Drasha. It seemed to have been a very harsh, we'll call it, relatively speaking, Gzar Din decree that we received last Rosh Hashanah, a very difficult decree. The upheaval, unfortunately, the deaths and the sickness and the unrest. I don't think there's anyone who wants a repeat of Tavshin Pei. I don't think there's anyone, Jew, non-Jew, who wants another 5780. We all want it to be better. So I was thinking to myself, okay, it was a challenging year. It was a bit of a downer. But as I was writing this introduction, you'll see it in there, I thought to myself that my shul, many shuls, our shul, kind of shut down. In 6 months, it was like things have been shut down to a large extent, and let's wait till next year and try to build up again. But then I realized that so much has happened in our shul in the past 6 months. The chesed, the Talmud Torah, what happens? There's Gzar Din Rosh Hashana, and the Kadosh Baruch Hu throws that or places that in front of Klal Yisrael. And the question is, what are we going to do with that? So if the Gzar Din itself was not the one we wanted, the point is that that's the ayah that was Nechlas B'Svach B'Karnav. That Gzar Din of Tavshin Pei was the ram whose horn got caught, and the ram didn't understand how on earth this happened. I'm 2,000 years old, it's never happened before. How on earth did this pandemic happen? How on earth is all this unrest happening in our country? But we have to realize that a Kadosh Baruch Hu gives us the reality that we could steig, that we could grow the most with. And everything is perfect. This 2,000-year-old professional senior ayah got caught. His horns got caught. We, to an extent, got caught this year. Things that we perceive as bad happened. We got caught. We have to realize that it's the perfect placement. The Kadosh Baruch Hu places everything perfectly, and the koiches and the mitzvahs and the Torah and Ben Adam L'Chaveru that I saw in our Kehillah, I haven't seen it in the previous 2 years that I've been here, the previous year that I've been here. I haven't seen that. It's all about being prepared, being ready, being willing to kind of change what we think our goal is, to reformulate how we're going to do things, and to be successful. So I wish us another year of success. I wish us, my bracha to all of us in the Gans Chaniso this year, is we have another year of success, that whatever Kadosh Baruch Hu throws away, and Be'ez Hashem, it should be a good Gzar Din, and we should all have gesund, we should be healthy, we should have parnasa, we should have nachas from each other, from our children. But whatever it is, whatever Kadosh Baruch Hu sends our way, we handle it the same way, if not better, than the way we handled this year. And we continue with our Talmud Torah. Hopefully, Shurim will be in person, but if it has to continue virtually, so it'll continue. We continue to grow. We show Kadosh Baruch Hu that whatever you send our way, we're going to service you. We're going to be Ovdei Hashem. We're going to improve ourselves. We're going to learn more Torah, do more mitzvahs, do more chesed. So my bracha to us is that whatever Kadosh Baruch Hu sends our way, we persevere and we continue to grow, much like the successful story that we had this year. Of all our successes of dealing with this new reality, we continue and take that into the new year. Be'ezer Hashem, this new year, we'll have a lot more bracha and hatzlacha and brias tichla shalom v'kilaseh. We hope this year's klalos that we experienced are over. We get a sweet new Gzar Din for Tavshin Pei Aleph. The sky is the limit. Wishing everyone a kesiva, a chatzima toiva, a shana toiva mesuka, and a good gebenched yor.